Picture this. It's below zero. It's New Year's Eve. You come home exhausted, and every inch of your private property is stolen by strangers. No warning, no apology. Just entitlement. So instead of yelling, instead of begging, I waited 5 hours and turned their cars into solid blocks of ice. Trust me, by morning, they were screaming. If you've ever felt disrespected, ignored, or walked all over. If you've ever wanted karma to show up exactly on time, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in, because this revenge was cold, calculated, and completely unforgettable. This happened about 20 years ago, back when things felt simpler. At least, at first, my family owned 2 apartment buildings, 3 units each, in the Chicago suburb. Imagine long straight roads, lined with nearly identical 3 flat buildings, stretching for almost a mile in both directions. Most of them had 0 parking, barely enough street space. And the winters, brutal. But we were lucky. These buildings weren't just investments, they were our home. We lived in 2 of the units, and rented out the other 4. And because the land had originally been our family property, we had a huge parking lot, enough for about 16 cars. For decades, everything worked just fine. Our tenants respected the rules. Neighbors minded their own business. No drama at all. Then, slowly, things started to change. At first, it was subtle. I'd see a car I didn't recognize. Then another. Maybe it's just a guest, I did tell myself. Until one afternoon, I came outside and realized something was very, very wrong. A car not owned by any of our tenants was boxed into our lot, trapped by other cars. So, I parked behind it. Not aggressively, not blocking any exits, just enough to make sure the driver had to come talk to me before they could leave. A few minutes later, I hear an engine revving. Ding crunch. I run outside just in time to see this guy drive straight through our bushes, tear across our yard like it was a rally course, and disappear down the street. I just stood there, completely stunned. My hands were clenched, and my heart was pounding in my ears. I called the cops. They just shrugged. It's private property. Not much we can do unless you have it towed. That was it. That single moment flipped a switch in me. We immediately contacted a local tow company. They came out and installed clear, unmistakable signs. Private parking unauthorized vehicles will be towed at owner's expense. After that, peace. For months. Maybe even a couple of years, until New Year's Eve. I remember the cold because it literally hurt to breathe. The temperature was in the minuses. The wind was slicing through every single layer of clothing. I pulled onto our street, already tired, already frozen, and my stomach just dropped. Every single spot gone. It wasn't just full, it was invaded. Cars were jammed in crookedly. Cars were blocking other cars. They were even spilling out into the street, like some kind of metallic tumor. All strangers. Everywhere. My hands were shaking not from the cold, but from pure rage. I called the tow company immediately. The guy on the phone laughed. Tonight, it'll be a few hours, man. It's New Year's Eve, we are completely slammed. I hung up and just sat there in my car, breathing, staring. And that's when the idea came to me. It was a calm, almost terrifying kind of calm. We had lawn sprinklers, and we had hoses, and there was a laundry room faucet right inside the building. I didn't rush. I didn't panic. I worked methodically. I ran a hose from the laundry room, making sure to use hot water so the hose itself wouldn't freeze. I set up 3 sprinklers. One by one, I turned them on. The water sprayed gently at first, then relentlessly. Over the hoods, over the roofs, across every windshield. The ground glazed over, turning the entire lot into a skating rink. Every 30 minutes, I went outside and moved the sprinklers. I made sure to spray inside the door locks, between the window seals and the glass, into the front grills, the side mirrors, the wheel wells. This went on for 5 hours. The air glittered with tiny ice crystals. The parking lot became a frozen monument to entitlement. At around 3 in the morning, I turned everything off. It was quiet again. E went to bed, And for the first time that night, I was smiling. At 4 a.m., all hell broke loose. There was pounding on the door, shouting. Our doorbells were being assaulted like fire alarms. "Hey! What the hell did you do to our cars?" I looked outside from my window. People were slipping and falling. They were slamming their fists against doors that were frozen solid. I could see keys snapping off in the frozen locks, so I calmly called the police. When the officers arrived, I could see their shoulders shaking. They were trying so hard not to laugh. It turns out, all these people had parked here because a friend had told them it was fine. And guess who that friend was? The very same idiot who had driven through our bushes all those months ago. I walked outside, pointed directly at the big, red tow away sign, and said, "They need to move their cars, or I'll have them towed." In our town, with the owner's permission, the police can write tickets on private property. So they did, for every single car. One by one. And since nobody could even get into their vehicles, the tow trucks arrived shortly after people beheaded. People. July, one guy slipped and fell so hard on the ice that the cops had to help him up. I heard someone scream, "This is insane." I just shrugged. So was parking on private property in sub-zero weather. The ticket books filled up. The tow hooks tightened. When the last frozen car was finally dragged away, the lot was silent. Pristine. Frozen. It was perfect. I slept better that morning than I had in years. I didn't damage anything. I didn't break a single law. I just let natural consequences do all the work for me. Sometimes, respect isn't taught with words. It's taught with ice. If this story made you grin even a little, smash that like button. Drop a comment down below what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or imagined. And don't forget to subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories where karma always shows up. Right on time. Right on time. Thanks for watching.